Good morning, sir. I think you're. Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. Hello. Good morning, sir. Ma'am, you can record. Shall we start, sir? Pankaja madam also have joined us. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Shall we start, ma'am?
Saudia ma'am, you can proceed. You can proceed, Saudia ma'am.
Yeah. Shall I?
Yes, please.
Very good morning, all of you. I'm Saudia here, Assistant Professor from the Center for Information Technology and Engineering, Manon Maniam Sundarnar University. With you this 17th November 2021 to go through the webinar on Prodding Women Academics for a Poised Family and Career. This is hosted from the Center for Women Empowerment and Women Studies of Manon Maniam Sundarnar University. Coping career and family responsibilities strategically and consistently, a topic of significance to be felt by the potential women generation.
Maybe about half an hour I will send it.
Graciously adorning the relevance of the webinar is the presence of Honorable Vice Chancellor of Manon Maniam Sundarnar University, Professor Dr. K. Pichumani, the eminent persona from among the willful folk of the country, Dr. G. Pangajam, former Vice Chancellor, Gandhigram Rural Institute, Ms. J.C. Meena Raja, sociologist of the region, Professor S. Uma Maheshwari, Director, Center for Women Empowerment and Women Studies, Manon Maniam Sundarnar University. The participants are the faculty members, staff of the university, and its students. In the name of God, shall we begin the program with a welcome note from the director of the center, Professor S. Uma Maheshwari. Madam, please. Madam, you can unmute the welcome address. Madam, please unmute. Madam, please unmute and speak. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, fine.
Fine. Okay. Clean and green greetings to one and all gathered over here. I take a great honor and privilege to welcome all the gathering who are assembled here virtually for the webinar on prodding of women academics for a poised family and career. First and foremost, I would like to accord a genial welcome to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, who despite his numerous tight schedule has come over here to shower his inaugural address for this webinar. Sir, an academician, eminent scholar, is always known for rendering a quite but powerful support in organizing events like that of today.
Ma'am, please unmute.
Secondly, I would like to offer my Vincent welcome to Professor Marudakutti, the registrar in charge of Manonmani Sundanar University, who would always used to grin us and motivate us to work with vision. Your gracious presence really gives great encouragement to our profession. Young minds are like sponges and they are ready to intake whatever is input that has been soaked into. Yes, for this, we have the right person today. Of course, Professor Pankajam Madam, Secretary, Gandhigram Trust, Gandhigram. Is it audible, Madam?
Is audible.
Okay, fine. Gandhigram Trust, Gandhigram, and the former Vice Chancellor of Gandhigram Rural University, Dindikal. She's always being my source of inspiration and motivation. A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. In midst us, we have inspiring personality, Madam Pankajam, who always precisely remains passionate in delivering the best to the students with a view that will bring infused hope among the learners. Yes, undoubtedly, she is a role model for her committedness, immense patience, and the high risk. We are very fortunate enough to have you in this webinar, ma'am. And on behalf of Manonmani Sundanar University, we really acknowledge your concern and professionalism for us, ma'am. A tree can start a forest. A candle can light the darkness. A word can frame the goal. With a spring in my step, anticipation in heart, and tilt to my heart, I welcome our greatest asset, JCHGF Vijay Madam from Ambasamudram, of course, a Rotarian, who is ready to nourish and cherish our minds with her empowering words and visionary thoughts. Hearty welcome to the webinar. I suppose she'll join in a few minutes. As she has got some function, she told she'll be joining a bit late. And scholars and students from this occasion in learning much more from our inspiring Madam Pankajam. We truly value your participation. At the outset, I express my sincere welcome to everyone and all who have gathered for his webinar in this virtual mode. And I'm sure that exchanges between the participants in the webinar will definitely help in prodding women academics for poised family and career. As this is a motivational webinar, I would like to wind up my welcome address with the words of the scientist Abdul Kalam on the theory of life. When flood comes, the fish eats ant, but when the water dries, The ants eat fish. Life gives chance to everyone. Just have to wait for your turn. At the outset, I welcome everyone who have gathered here, watch here to put on the occasion on wheel and to make this a grand scenario. Session to Dr. Saudia ma'am to proceed with the webinar. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, ma'am, for delivering the welcome address. Madam has taken all initiatives in organizing the event from the Center for Women Empowerment and Women's Studies. For the cause of the society, academics and research is his lifetime for the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Manoanmaniam Sundarnar University, Senior Professor Dr. K. Pichamuni. Sir has consented to deliver the inaugural address of the program. Thank you, sir. Shall we now hear from the Honorable Vice Chancellor of our university, the inaugural address.
Thank you,
please.
Am I audible here?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Very clear, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Saudia, for inviting
sir.
me. I also take this opportunity to thank the Director, Center for Women's Studies and Women Empowerment of MS University, Dr. Uma Maheshwari. I have great pleasure in welcoming Professor Pankajam, former Vice Chancellor, Gandhigram Rural University. In fact, during my tenure in Madurai Kamaraj University, Madam used to visit our university as well as the department on various occasions and gave very valuable inputs for the quality improvement of Madurai Kamaraj University. Such an eminent luminary is here to enlighten the audience on exhilarating women. Thank you, Madam, for accepting our invitation and coming over here.
Thank you.
I also welcome other speaker, Mrs. Meena Raja from Ambasamutram, Dr. Saudia, Professor Maradakutti, and more importantly, the participants who are all here on this very significant title. In fact, Women's Studies, I congratulate them for choosing such an appropriate topic. Prodding women, academics for a poised family and career. How to balance both. It's a very tough and difficult task for most of them. They find it very, very difficult to cope up with this. In fact, getting a job or starting with a career, this gives a certain kind of professional and social freedom for women. And recent times, the number of women in high position, whether it is a IT job or academic positions, they are increasing larger in number because of their high qualification and their very effective performance at work. And at the same time, unfortunately, that puts a lot of stress on them. In fact, women feel they face more role conflicts than men. And this is an issue they have to really face in their career. They have to strike the right balance between their academic life and a career. There are a lot of issues because they are forced to stay longer hours outside their home. But at the same time, their domestic responsibilities, it has not lessened. So most of them, consequently, they feel a lot of stress, fatigue, and low support system. And time management is also a very major issue. Child care and elderly person care issue, and more importantly, their work schedule. So this is a very, very important aspect academics have to address so that they can come out with some viable solution that will improve the performance of all our academics, women academics, because they are all more focused, dedicated. But due to this role conflicts, they find it kind of tough to devote more time to their career. So how to strike the right poise and the balance between these two? This is the focal theme of this webinar. And we have none other than an eminent Vice Chancellor who contributed very extensively in various capacities. to enlighten the young minds here. And in fact, this issues which women are academic, particularly women academics, unlike people in IT, in fact, most of you are aware that though a lot of girl students, they got enrolled in IT jobs, but the attrition rate is very, very high among them. In fact, more than 50% of the women, they opt out of their job because of their very high demands of the domestic course. So in fact, there is a human resource depletion the country is facing. But at the same time, academics, probably they may have such kind of lesser burden, but still they face a lot of issues. And in fact, a study pointed out that depending on the age group also, the work demand for all these women, it is enhancing. Particularly women, when they are forced to work more than 12 hours, academics, when they are engaged in research, in addition to the teaching career, teaching options, they have to also concentrate on their research. So that they have to devote more time after their regular office hours. That again puts some kind of a strain. In fact, women who are above 50 years of age, they feel more workload, and also they feel more stress and fatigue. And working women who are under the age of 30 or 40, they also feel such kind of stress. And women who are below 30, they also have ambitions in their career. So they have to compromise either the ambition or the family life. So they have to strike a right balance. So some of these issues women are facing. And fortunately, most of the women academics, they are balancing these issues, and they are kind of finding out the right kind of solution. In this forum, I would like to mention, particularly by the benefit of all our young academicians, probably this is the time one has to redefine their structural role, their personal role, and also the reactive role behavior of all their career options and also family. So a lot of things. In fact, the domestic demands, it has not even lessened at least by 5%. But at the same time, women academics, particularly women, they have to really make some compromise. So time management, this is again a major issue. Rescheduling their work timing and schedule. So a lot of things they have to really address. So consequently, if there is low local support, particularly in the workplaces, women feel kind of depressed. So their performance is going down, though they are capable of achieving much larger things. So there are a lot of issues which have to be addressed. So I'm sure by virtue of such forums and by hearing such eminent academicians who are still very, very active in their academic pursuits, we'll be able to come out with some vital, the purpose of such lectures is to make some recommendations to the system, how we can actually lessen the burden of women academics. So a cursory look at the net points out some suggestions for this. For example, what we really need for such people where the domestic chores are not really lessened, we need a proper working environment. Like a lot of amenities have to be provided for all the women, and more over the time work from home. Some of these things the management can take care of for such academicians. And also, they can also address some of the job requirements where the burden on the women academics can be lessened. And probably academic system, they can have some kind of a counseling cell for not really academics, but also for administrative staff. For women, it can be formed so that their grievances can be addressed at the right kind of requirement. And much more important and much more significant. When you have a more understanding life partner, better half, most of the burdens which the women academic feel, and also when the children and other elderly person in the family, when they understand the work pressures and the issues which the women academics are facing, women academicians are lucky to have such a proper family environment and very good cooperation from the family members. They should be considered as really lucky, and we can expect a much better contribution from them. And another important thing, probably they can also devote some time for some kind of a minor recreation like yoga, even during the work hours. Some 10 minutes or 15 minutes relaxation like yoga. So there's such kind of stress busters can make them more active again. And another issue is that we need not really put very strict time restrictions on women academicians, and probably they can also spend not really from within the family, but also they can spend more what kind of pressure release groups among their friends and family members. So that can ease the burden and stress of these women. In fact, as we become older and older, such stress will become more larger. So they feel more depressed and the productivity has lessened to a significant level. So this is a very timely topic which the Center for Women's Studies and Women Empowerment has chosen. And I request my colleagues to get inputs from Professor Bangajam, and you can also make some recommendations, not really here, but also to the higher levels of forums by state government and also central governments, what really one can do to get better productivity among women academics. So this is a very vital meet in this concept. I thank the organizers for making this meet a reality. And I once again welcome and thank Professor Bangajam. Despite her age, she is able to join with us to give her very valuable input. And I also welcome and thank the other speaker for giving for being part of this webinar. I once again thank all the organizers, and more importantly, all the women members who joined here. So this is I think this will be very, very really helpful for all of you. Thank you all. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So many facts and realities about women, values and respect for women fraternity from you, sir. Express our gratitude. We also appreciate the strategies, stress busters suggested for increasing the productivity from the side of women. Thanks a lot, sir. That was great hearing from you. Thank you so much, sir. On accelerating women, from the one who kept herself accelerated through the life, Dr. G. Pangajam, former Vice Chancellor, Gandhigram Rural Institute, Gandhigram. A Fulbright scholar, great academician and scholar, eminent author with over 30 years of service and more than 200 publications in the domains of sociology, home science. Madam Dr. G. Pangajam has adopted villages to be taken care of, elevated the Gandhigram Rural Institute to 5-star status during her tenure as Vice Chancellor, and so on, for the cause of community there. Happy to have you here, ma'am, through this virtual platform. Welcome you again. So participants on accelerating women from Dr. G. Pangajam. Madam, please.
Thank you. It's really my pleasure to join this virtual meeting and hear Professor Pichumani's speech after a very long time, after meeting him in Madurai Kamaraj University. And when Dr. Uma Maheshwari asked me whether I would be able to give a speech, then I said whether it is virtual or I have to come in person. If it is in person, I'm sorry, I won't be able to come. If it is virtual, fine. And she said it is virtual, and the academicians and the scholars will be joining from different parts of Tamil Nadu, of that UI University. Of course, if it is known to others, they too would have joined. I don't know what was the strategy which the Department of Women's Studies of Manonmaniam Sundaranar University has adopted for this, whether you have invited people from outside and so on and so forth. But at the same time, it's a very good move, initiative by the Department of Women's Studies, that you think of the issues relating to the women who are employed. Really, we don't know what do you mean by employment, whether employment which fetches money or employment without any remuneration. Woman at home is employed for 24 hours, but she doesn't ask for any remuneration. She cannot ask for any remuneration. If she says that I want a remuneration for the work which I do, there will be no family at all. It is only not a remunerative job, but it's a dedicated job for a woman. How is she going to have an adjustment between this and a remunerative job, a career? Are we really interested in earning now, or it is only a new stress and which has been created on women just recently? So, I would like to say it is not an adjustment at all. It was existing even earlier for women and men together at home and in the workplace. Even working in the farm itself is a work, it's an employment, not as a professor, not as a collector. Today we see women in every walk of life, I mean in administration. From top to bottom, you will have more women, in spite of all the difficulties which they have. Sometimes, I'm sorry to say, the men cannot tolerate women coming up to that level. In spite of that, women try to take this as a challenge in their life and try to make adjustment with all these issues and the problems, and they say that it is their responsibility to bring up the children. I don't know whether any of you have seen an advertisement in the TV, a woman saying, a carrier, one who is carrying, saying to her mother-in-law that she can adjust with all the different activities, both at home and outside. So the carrier, as we say, is to decide what I am, whether I am capable of living in this world, in this competitive world, and capable of contributing to this competitive world, or what I know, what I can. If I could do that, that is the best thing which a woman can contribute, not only to her family life, but also to her career. And as the Vice Chancellor said in his inaugural address, that the stress and strain which makes a woman is responsible for many of the conflicts what we have today within the family. The husband expects the same type of roles to be played as she was before, whereas she can play now this double role. But this double role, the most important one is being a mother at home. Parenting behavior. When we say it's a parenting behavior, it's not just only, I don't mean it's only the mother, it's father too. Both of them should have an equal responsibility in bringing up the children. The bringing up of the children and the future of the nation or the future of the world is going to be with the mother and the father. Both of them should be able to have equal responsibility and understand that we are going to create a new generation which is going to have a different type of expectation for which we are creating a world. And if you don't have this consensus between the husband and the wife, and you feel that you are more dominating than that of the mother, or if the mother feels in that way, naturally, both cannot have a good bringing up of the children. So the children, if they feel, and you know, what I am today, I reflect my parents. But then the teachers who have brought me up, it is the next role, the very crucial role which every one of us have played in in creating many people in this world. I, as a teacher, educator, I think I had created a lot of future generation from my own student community. Though they were all teachers, they are all teachers. That means what I was, that has been transferred to my teachers, my student teachers, and they have in turn created every year, they have been teaching hundreds of students, and hundreds of the students have gone out to different positions. They hold a different position in the world as such. I feel sometimes that when I receive a call or receive any mail from somebody whom I have just forgotten because of the duration. You know, I started teaching in 1967. So many teachers, and so many teachers saying, and they are also retired and saying, Madam, I was your student. What a funny look. Sometimes, you know, I feel, even as you said, even at this age, I'm able to do this one. I'm able to do what a art is capable of. It's not that what I was doing earlier. I was traveling the whole world to talk about education, especially education of the women, education of the children. In many parts of the world, I have given the lectures. I have participated in conferences. At the same time, I have travel throughout the country, nook and corner, to evaluate the colleges and the universities. I have visited Manonmaniam Sundara University only to assess, not to participate in such type of academic program. Probably in the Department of Education, they started when I was there. Actually, my visit was mainly to evaluate your university as such. Under the NAC scheme, I have traveled around. Now I say, no, I will not accept this. I have many invitations even today from different parts of the world as well as the country, many organizations. But I say, let me sit at home and whatever I could do for you, whatever contribution which I could make, I share. This is what is happening. This is what a woman can do. A man can do it. It's not only the woman, even the man can do only like this. Man feels superior just because women feel inferior. If the women also feel that they are not inferior to anybody, I don't say that you have to fight with, you should have a conflict with a male, but both are the same. Have an adjustment. Have both at home as well as in the career, whether it is academic or whether it is a software engineer or you are a policeman, you are a doctor or you are an engineer or you are a police woman or police officer. You can adjust provided you have a good understanding of the partner. As I said, the partner is more important to have an adjustment and taking care of in the absence of the mother, the children and the elders. It's not just you take care of only the cooking. Cooking is nothing, and cooking is you just give a call immediately. Whatever dishes you want, you are able to get it now. Now it is not the question of cooking, which is sometimes people used to say it is really funny. No, I never. No, actually my basic qualification is home science, from which I have developed into an educationist as such. Even as a home science student, I used to sometimes feel very bad that I am not able to cook properly because I am not interested in either eating or cooking. In fact, when I remember vividly, when I went for a nutrition practical examination, when I was doing my final year BSc, I asked my father as to how I have to cook these things. What are the dishes which I have to prepare? How to prepare? It is only on the basis of my father's instruction I passed in nutrition practical examination. And in fact, the examiner said the taste was so wonderful that how could such a delicious diet could be prepared within a short time. Absolutely. What I eat, sometimes I don't know what I am eating. I eat, just I have to eat. We eat for both. To eat to live and live to eat. Mine is, anyhow, I have to live and I'm eating. That's all. Without knowing the taste, without knowing what is being served, I eat. There are also people who can just cook very well as well as eat very well. And they are able to prepare everything so quickly. In fact, my niece does cooking in 1 hour. And then she starts preparing for her classes. Either it is online or offline. And whether it is for 1 hour class or 2 hours classes, she immediately starts exactly in 1 hour. I used to be observing with wonder and say that why do you take so much strain in preparing so many items in spite of your, exactly by 9 she leaves to the university. How is it possible? This adjustment with the other family members. Of course, now assistants are available, but the cooking is to be delicious, means it is to be only by the woman who is holding the food at home. This comes only when you are interested in the interest and the motivation. The motivation should be there. Yeah, I have to work. At the same time, I have to take care of my family. And for some people only, as I said, I'm not interested in cooking. It doesn't mean, but I'm interested in writing. I'm interested in speaking. You know, now when I was having my breakfast, I had a phone call from a author of a book, journal, asking me to write an article. You know, it is a monthly journal, and suddenly he calls me after deciding the title of the month. He calls and then, Madam, just it is only 2 pages. You can write. No, this but of course, I accept only when I am familiar with the topic and the title as such. So I said, okay, I shall write. And this was simultaneously going on. Doesn't mean that I sit at home without doing anything. I do something, but it is not as it used to be, as the age and the climate and the need also change according to the pattern of the lifestyle of the people as such. So we have to take our own decision as to how I have to move around. I don't go and talk to anybody outside. I'm capable of talking like this only. I'm capable of, suppose Uma says that I have seen her once or twice, but a few exchange of few words only. I cannot have one-to-one conversation, but this type of a conversation I am capable of. I'm capable of enjoying such type of conversations, not of going to the next house, talking to the neighbor. Absolutely, this was not my practice from my childhood. My childhood was, I tell you, how I have developed this habit of speaking and although writing is when I was a child of 5 years, 6 year old. My headmaster went for his M.Ed on leave. So for that, I was asked to preside over, to give him a favor to go to Chennai. Then going to Chennai itself is something great. We cannot, but he went to Chennai for doing his M.Ed. I was the president, or I presided over the meeting which was organized to give him a send-off. Started like that. Welcomed Rajaji. when I went to welcome him, I was in 3rd standard or 4th standard, I think. He made me sit on his lap, then asked me to talk. I welcomed Mr. Kamraj, the then Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. I said, as a small girl of 6th standard, I said, the President of United States of America, who was the son of a businessman, could become the president. And today we see in front of us Mr. Kamaraj, who has become the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, but he was just sitting in shops helping the owner. And immediately Dr. Soundram Ramchandran, who was the founder of Gandhigram, was sitting next to me. Said, hey, Pangajan, but I didn't know that I should not, because I read about Abraham Lincoln the previous day. So I just applied the same thing to Mr. Kamaraj. This fear of not having the fear, because what you feel, you say, we have to make our children grow like this, so that really we are capable of. And today, in spite of invitation from many to work, rather than having a paid job, I say no, just because I want to be loyal to Dr. Soundram Ramchandran, who brought me up to this level, who gave me this exposure to have the Gandhigram. I have met so many leaders. So give this type of, so the woman to be, it's not that I am fearless, but I don't know how to talk something which I don't feel is incorrect or correct. Whatever I feel, according to my own views, I tell them, to the children also. At the same time, if I don't see any change in them after repeatedly my saying, at least 3 times, that don't do this, this is not good for you, and do it like this and do it. If I don't find any change, I just leave it. Just isolate my contact with them. This is a type of behavior pattern which I have noticed from the people who have brought me up. The child rearing practices, which the mother follows, which our own relatives follow, our grandma follows. So we must be able to make our children. Say my grandchild, when she was in first standard, she came and asked me a question. கற்றவருக்கு சென்றவிடமெல்லாம் சிறப்பு சொல்லிட்டு எங்க மிஸ் உங்க பேரை சொன்னாங்க மாமா. Why? She asked me. I was just, then I said, if you study well and if you are capable of getting a good job and going around helping others, you will definitely be honored. அப்படியா, அதனாலதான் உங்களை எல்லாரும் கூப்பிடுறாங்க. This is what the child feels then. And the child feels, if I don't go and sit on the platform in a meeting, she says, why are you sitting here without going over there? But, for the curiosity we have to create. This is the mother's role. This is a career woman. And this is a woman at home who is bringing up, who is a role model to the young children. So whether you are working in schools or colleges or universities or in any other job, you are capable of adjusting yourself. You are capable of adjusting yourself, provided you love both. You have proper understanding of both. And this is what I tell the women. This is what, when the women come to me with the problems and issues with their husband, I say, no, you cannot. I have advised many women not to get separated from their husband just because of the certain issues. I have guided them. Yeah, this should be your pattern of behavior. You just see. And now they are all very happy. They are very happy and they are able to have a very good adjustment with their own children and their husband. So I would say this gender discrimination need not be followed as we feel. It doesn't mean that equality doesn't mean that you fight with your partner for having such an equality. What you are also earning 1 lakh per month and I am also earning 1 lakh per month. And what's the difference? Why should I do this work? Absolutely. You are a mother. You are a mother. Remember, you are a sister. You are an auntie. You are a grandmother. You are able to earn, and he is also able to earn. And nowadays, really, I feel the advertisements in the TV, in between, they come on showing only the equality. If you prepare dosa, I'll prepare chutney. If you prepare coffee, I'll prepare dosa. This is what is happening. Cleaning of the vessel. In the mechanized world, for everything we have got now, machines. We can make use of the machines for everything. Grinding, women have forgotten. It was women's role. Grinding was women's role. Now, how many of us know that there is a grinder? And nobody knows that they have to grind the flour or chutney with the ammi. No, nobody knows. That means just switch on a button and you are able to get everything done. So our world, which is now sharing the responsibility, as it is said in article number 1 of Indian Constitution, all human beings are born free and equal before law. It's not only nature, it's also law. It's changed. Nobody is unequal. Everybody is equal. I remember people challenging me sometime, in the group which I used to head. I used to be the chairperson. People used to think, how is it this this small lady who is who looks like this is going to organize this program, who is going to conduct this evaluation, or who is going to be the chief of this. But your words, your thoughts, your language says who you are. You are capable of controlling. You are capable of making people come along with you only through your language. The language helps you. So it is you who have to feel this, that I am not inferior to anybody. I have got certain rights and duties as well. When I ask for my rights, I should also think of my duties which I have. In spite of 50% of women in the world, and we are not able to get that equal opportunity, means it is injustice. We fought and got 33% of reservation in all our administrative bodies. And this 33,000 main person is becoming 50 now. And it's only through competitions, only through our capabilities, we are going to prove that we are capable of excelling you. We are no way inferior to anybody. The complex inferiority complex need not be there. Economic development and her access to the healthcare, her employment opportunities, and asset to climb the self-confidence, leadership qualities. Everybody can be a leader, provided you have that leadership quality, provided your teacher has taught you that leadership quality, provided your parents have taught you the leadership quality. Join the skilled workforce and organize quality program for others as well. Think there are also people who want to be like you. Make them feel wherever you are. And India is a liberal nation compared to the developed nation. Like I was a Fulbright scholar teaching in the United States of America for 6 months in a university. And the question which they asked was, is it India so advanced countries? And it has sent a woman like you to this country to teach us. And we are learning from you now, but we were trying to rule you. The same thing was there in London when I was discussing these issues with a group of professors. They feel that we are not capable of being a British or an American or an Italian or an Australian, and they are superior to us. Now, when I spoke, we were just wondering. I said, we started voting, getting this right to vote much earlier than what you have. You have to fight for voting, whereas we got it earlier in 1947. So, India is a country where people feel that they have got the responsibility of, as Mahatma Gandhi said, that you have equal responsibility in fighting and getting the freedom to India. Equal. Many women, thousands of women have participated in the freedom struggle. And now after the freedom, in the development of the society, development of the women and children, development of the whole community as such. I think I have given you a lot of time. I have taken you a lot of time, but I would like to conclude my speech. This wonderful inspirational, as you said, it's an inspirational program where I would like to conclude by saying, as John Pope, probably you might see here, I'm with Pope. And when I met him, and that is a photograph which has been taken in Vatican, and a woman with a vibhuti and a pattisari going and touching his feet, as a Hindu woman in India could do that. And I have great regard for Pope John Paul. And with his quote, I would like to conclude. To maintain a joyful family requires much from both parents and the children. Each member of the family has to become, in a special way, the sovereign servant of each other. Children should feel that they have to help parents. The parents should feel that they are responsible for bringing up responsible children as such. With this, I feel arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful inspirational words. Students will definitely might have enjoyed your.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Lessons for a lifetime from a lifetime.
Thank you.
We shall cherish. Also, we are happy to know that you have enjoyed speaking to us. Thank you very much, dear madam. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Touching as many lives as you can in your life. This is the aim of a life, a great mission. An NLP practitioner, coach, a counselor, who has by this time trained over 6,000 students the aspects of life skill. A prominent sociologist from this region, Madam J.C. Meena Raja. Madam is a Henry Gizenberger Fellow also. And Madam is here to speak on Shero's Women Empowerment. Madam, please, you're welcome.
Thank you, Saudia, ma'am. It's lovely welcome.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your lovely accent and English language is so prominent. It's so nice to hear from you. And I'd love to thank you, Saudia. I'd love to thank Professor Uma Maheshwari ma'am for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be amongst you all. And it feels so nice. I was really so impressed with Professor G. Pankajam ma'am. So I'm really pronounced to you, ma'am. It was so nice hearing from you. So inspired. And I truly want to be one person like you, ma'am. You're so inspiring, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. And coming back to this program, it feels so nice to see so many women out here. I hope all of you are listening, or maybe you're just switched it on and working at home, or I don't know where you all are. And I hope all of you are listening. So let's have this as an introduction section.
Ma'am, excuse me, all are in the campus.
All are in the campus.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Then can we have the videos and audio on, if it's okay with them? They are in the campus. Thank you, Saudia ma'am. Yes, Uma ma'am. Why? I mean, if they are free in the campus, they can always.
If you don't mind, that may mind the bandwidth. If they turn on that may mind the bandwidth requirement.
Okay, then they can always come on audio.
Yeah,
they can come on audio.
Or they can even chat. Or they can even chat.
Yeah, either chat or come on audio, or you can unmute yourself and talk.
Okay.
Feel free to talk with me. And I'm so inspired by Pankajam ma'am's talk. And I just thought, I was wondering, when Uma Maheshwari ma'am asked me what can we give topic? As I said, see, there are so many women, and we women are sheroes. Like how we call men heroes, we can call ourselves sheroes, because we are the actual heroes of the home, heroes of the society, because we are the women who make men as such. Isn't it true? We are the women who make men. So we are supposed to be the sheroes. So we can call ourselves sheroes. When men can call them heroes, the upper lift, I mean, we are the greatest Shakti, right? We are the Shakti who makes the men itself. So we can call ourselves sheroes. So I was so inspired when I told her, let's talk on the topic shero and let's talk about women empowerment. Okay, so that's why the topic was sheroes. So 3 cheers. We can give ourselves 3 cheers. I really appreciate that. So since everybody is in the campus, feel free to, let's have this interaction session, because I know how it feels now. We're all listening to some Zoom and everybody's saying something and we're all listening only. Okay, so just let's be interactive. Let's feel free to talk anything. If you have any suggestions, you can please come forward. That includes Uma ma'am and Saudia ma'am. And of course, if Pankaj ma'am is always here, she can always correct me if I go wrong. And so it would be nice if we could interact. Okay. So I'll just start with the interaction session. So I'll just see if I can share my screen since I'm admin. Let me see. Yes. Yeah, I think it's available. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. So I just thought that we as Shiros. So in the Shiro it feels nice to call myself a Shiro, because unless you realize that you are a hero, you are a Shiro, who else would recognize you as a Shiro? It is you, it is us, it is me who has to realize that I am a Shiro, I am a hero. And that is when you realize that unless you realize you're a Shiro, nobody else would call you a Shiro or a hero. We expect people at home, expect people in society, we expect people in the workplace to realize the heroic things we do in daily life. But once people don't appreciate us, we just go down. Whether we appreciate it or not, whether people recognize us or not, whether people even look into what we're doing or not, we have to realize that we are actually the Shiros, doing all heroic things throughout the day, from morning till dawn. Yes, till we go to sleep, we are doing so many things for the heroes of the house, for the heroes of the society, for the heroes at home. Yes, so let's realize that we are the Shiros in society. And how do you realize that? And since my time is from 11:30 to 12:30, I'm starting at 11. Is it okay? It's okay. I can hear Saudi ma'am saying it's okay. So when you want me to finish, it's okay. So let me go. I'll just go for an hour and I'll finish off. Okay, fine. So if you want to interact, please feel free. Okay. So let me introduce myself. I am a member of the Lions Club. I'm a member of the JCI Club also, in Lions Club of Ambassadram and JCI Club of Palayankote, which is in Tirunelveli. And moreover, this HGF is nothing but Henry Gessenberg Fellow. Henry Gessenberg is the founder of JCI Club, and this HGF was given to me because I had, I played a part in women's education. So women's future education. So that's why they give us this HGF. And my name is Meena Raja. I hail from Ambasamudram, and I've been a transformation coach for some years now, transforming lives in colleges, schools, corporates, and women and the girl child. So it feels nice to be among so many women over here, all the enterprises. I really, after this session, I really want to interact with Uma ma'am to know more about what you're actually doing. So I just thought it's just a session, and I didn't get into asking her what it actually is. But when I say this, prodding of women academics for a poised family and career, I really want to know what you're actually doing so that I can help out, or maybe I can also learn from you all. So I will do that after the session. So let's get into the session. So what do you have when you heard this, when you just saw this Shiro in the invitation? What did you all think? Why I wanted to ask you this question was, even Saudi ma'am didn't think, I guess, it was Shiro instead of hero. She must have thought Shiro something. So when she said Shiro, I realized that, okay, they didn't get the actual point. It's hero mari Shiro. Okay, if men can be heroes, we can also be Shiros. What else did you think when you saw the topic Shiro? Yes, Saudi ma'am. Unmute பண்ணி பேசுங்க. Unmute.
I thought the word has to do something with share, or line in Hindi.
Okay.
Though I Google for the meaning, I couldn't find out directly things there with Google. I was not helped out by Google, but so I imagined that women line us kind of effect.
Okay.
So stay cheered always.
See, there you go, sorry ma'am. So women, as a trainer, we have to be something very different. Even if you Google, you cannot get what we really are.
Oh,
That's
great.
the first point of being a Shiro. That's
And-
a heroic act, okay?
and
So how
even-
are you going? You will never get the meaning of Shiro because
Stay
நாமளே
over the
நமக்கு
clouds.
வச்சுக்கிட்ட ஒரு அபூர்வமான பேர். That's how we women are. Yes?
Great.
And
Somebody else is saying something?
excuse me, and that was the first meaning I asked ma'am when she spoke, when I called her, invited for this webinar.
Yes, yes.
It was the
I
first
thought
asked me,
explanation given.
Hero na enna ma'am அப்படினாங்க உமா ma'am. I said, "Hey, அவங்களா hero இருக்கும்போது நம்ம hero இருக்க முடியாதா?" So that's why I said, hero மாதிரி Shiro போடுங்க அப்படின்னு போட்டு. I was just telling her. So anybody thought something else? Can we have somebody else?
Please type your
Okay,
views.
fine. So I just wanted some nice interaction. I just call up few names: Meenakshi ma'am, Sumitra ma'am, Kirtana, Kripa, Priyadarshini, Agalya, Hindumati, Ganga, Gayatri, Abhishika, Vijayalakshmi, Kavya, Paru, Lokanayaki. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So feel free to interact, okay? Yes. Okay. So what we'll see is since this thing is all about being a Shiro. So how do you be a Shiro? How do you become a Shiro? Anybody wants to say something? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, audible. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am,
ma.
audible.
Okay, ma. Okay, fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, Valiman. Valiman, நீங்க ஏதோ சொல்ல நினைச்சீங்களா? You wanted to say something? Good job, Princey. Not able to hear you well. Okay, fine. So since we said Shiro, we have to be Shiros. Namada, we have to be Shiros. How do you become a Shiro, first of all? Only when you realize that you find that you in you. You is yourself, right? So what is the actual you in you? What is your potential? What is your, your capacity, your capability? Unless you find that you in you, it might sound like Nityananda, me in me. It might sound like that, very funny. But actually, when you find that you in you, the actual you are not the actual self. What you're portraying into the society is not your actual self. You're actual much more than what you actually are now. Okay, so the actual you that you see yourself in the mirror or the society sees you is not the actual you. So to find that actual you in you is what we're going to see today. Fine? Okay. So what do we, why don't we actually do any self-analysis? Why are we not looking into what we actually are? Because we are afraid to know that we have some weaknesses. We are afraid to know that, okay, this is, we are afraid to know that we have certain weaknesses. Once we start probing into what you actually are, to realize that you will start knowing that, okay, I'm not good at this. This is my weakness. I have some anger. I have some laziness. So we are actually not looking into our self-analysis because we will start knowing our weakness. And moreover, suppose we know our weakness, there'll be a point where we have to change. Maybe we'll have to change ourselves because always changes are very, very scary. Normal, we should change something. It's quite scary. We're very happy doing what we're actually doing. We don't want to change at all. So we are scared to change. And because when we change, we have to do something we have not been doing already. We don't actually self-analyze ourselves because we're not aware of its importance. We're not aware of how important it is to realize who you actually are, what your potential is. It's very important that way. To be not one among the crowd, to be very different. You have to see into what you actually are capable of. We are finding ourselves very comfortable. Okay, we are working someplace, we are getting so much money, so much income. Family life is okay. Family life is just going smooth. We are happy with what we are. We don't want to reach into for something more. We are very happy with what we already have in life. Okay, we have food, 3 times food, we have shelter, we have income, children are there. Okay, we're very happy with this life. We don't want to do something further. We don't want to do something even more to get a good name in society or to live a better life. So, and lovely. So there are lots of people who are here. I feel I can see a lot of students here. One of you must be professors, you must be scholars yourselves. So feel free to even interact with me and tell me what is it. Have you already done some self-analysis? Have you already seen into what you are capable of, more capable of? Have you known what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are? Have you probed into this anytime in life? Have you sat down and listened or talk to yourself, given some self-talk to yourself? Have you ever done this ever in your life? We are very comfortable with what we are, with what we have. And if we don't have anything, we always have one person up there. God is the reason for everything. Okay? So, God to us. Just imagine, He's given us everything in life. What more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? He's been so patient. He's been so loving to us. He's given us the whole body, a fully abled body. In fact, the disabled, the lesser abled body people are doing much more than the fully able body of us. The disabled people are doing more than us. In spite of God not giving them so many, the full able body, in spite of being disabled, நிறைய பேர் மீறி சாதிக்கிறாங்க. But in spite of giving us the whole head, the whole 2 eyes, nice ears to hear, the sense of smell, the touch, the way to talk, the way to interact, the sight, the 2 limbs, 2 legs, 2 hands, everything, full body, perfect 100%. Are we doing the best we can? கொஞ்சம் யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. இதுக்கு மேல what can God give us? Yes, everything is given to us in a platter in a beautiful way. Just imagine we fight for one sperm to catch an egg, and that is the first victory we have already been victorious in that. And then when we form, when fetus becomes a child, how beautiful is God's creation? So beautiful, no? We see pregnant women, we ourselves have become pregnant. We see how a small tandu can become a whole baby, and how a baby is so perfect and God's creation. What engineering can God have? It's so beautifully engineered. He is the greatest engineer we have here in the world. So such beautifully we have designed, and God has designed us that we are very comfortable with what we already have. What is already destined. So let's see into what we can do more for us, for the family. See, all this time you were seeing why we don't self-analyze. Am I audible?
It's audible, ma'am.
Yeah. I just went off. Is my screen there?
No.
No.
Yeah, it's not there.
Okay, I'll just share screen again. Something suddenly went off. Yeah, now
It's fine.
It's available.
Fine. Okay. So why we need to self-analysis, we're going to see next. Only when you do that introspection, you'll find out, it will highlight your accomplishments. what you've already நம்ம இது வரைக்கும் சாதிச்சிருக்கோம். It will highlight what your plus in life, whatever the your strengths in life, your strengths, your own strengths, your personality strengths. It will highlight your accomplishments. Yes, and it will also know the areas of further development where you are lacking in, where you need to develop yourself. You will know the areas of development. Okay, I'm not a good communicator. I don't communicate well. That's something lacking in me. So this is the area I need to work more on. Okay, so when I work more on this, I will be a better communicator. Okay, I have some problem with my emotions. I don't have balanced emotions. I don't have emotional intelligence. So this is the area I need to develop myself more. I can talk a lot, but I cannot express myself beautifully. That. So I need to work on that. Take it away. Take away my insecurities, and I have to move forward. I have to move forward. And it also helps you to focus on your opportunities. Whenever you have opportunities in life, wherever you have an opportunity in life, just grab the opportunity. In fact, today I had a close manager's daughter's function now. I just grabbed this opportunity. How will I get this chance of meeting so many women, sitting in the comfort of my home, sitting in the comfort of my desk, not even traveling to you, meeting almost 100 of you. Now there are 93 of you. So beautifully it's designed that way. How would I not have this opportunity? I just grabbed this opportunity. In spite of doing this, I went and attended the function also and came back. So this is one opportunity where you can, you cannot miss out on such opportunities. Both are equally important to me. So it helps us once you realize that, okay, am I capable of doing two things at a time? Yes, I can. I can come here. My presence may be needed from 9:30 this morning, but my presence there also is needed. So I can go fulfill that person's, his wishes. I can come back here for my session too. So it helps you focus that, okay, hello, audible. Screen share, screen is available?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. If in case something, just let me know, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So then we were talking about to improvise your accomplishments. So we also talked about where the areas of self-development, further development. It also takes away your insecurities and helps you move forward. And finally, it helps us to focus on opportunities. As I was telling you, whenever you get an opportunity, just grab the opportunity. Don't let it go at all. And finally, it helps us to thrive, not just survive. Survive is everybody is surviving. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry who's born in this world is just surviving in life. Normal lead pandrathu, normal life valrathu. So normal we just eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, work. That is all. That is survival. We are not here to survive. It will happen on its own. But when you do self-analysis, it helps you to thrive. Thrive in the sense, normal you have to be extraordinary. Normal live pandrathu is survival. That ordinary people will do. But we as Shiros are super normal. We are not normal. We have to thrive to be extraordinary people. When we talk about ordinary and extraordinary, there are two words. Extraordinary, ordinary. What's the difference between the two words? Anybody can tell me? Ordinary and extraordinary. What's the difference? That little extra, right? For example, I don't know who to choose from here. Okay, Saudia ma'am, because you're on screen with me. Saudia ma'am likes, what's your favorite food, Saudia ma'am?
My favorite fruits,
Food.
madam.
Your favorite food.
That is, these days, as Pankaja madam said, I eat to live. I have lost all that.
I eat to live. Huh?
Yeah. Still, I like ice creams. Ice cream.
Okay, fine. So Saudia ma'am likes ice cream, and then she goes to an ice cream parlor and she asks for one extra scoop of ice cream because she loves ice cream.
Right.
So the parlor fellow will give her one scoop, small scoop, or one full box of ice cream. What will he give her?
Scoop.
She is asking for extra ice cream. So he'll just give her a scoop, right? So that extra word is a small amount or a big amount.
It's a small amount.
So the extra is a small amount or a big amount? It's a small amount.
Yeah.
Yes. So that for a difference between an ordinary person and an extraordinary person is just that little extra. Yes. It's a small thing that differentiates from an ordinary person and an extraordinary person. We are all ordinary people, right? Yes. When we want to be extraordinary, who's extraordinary here? Maybe a few people who are orating here, or maybe people who are taking the task of being the organizers here. What difference does it make from you to us or me to somebody else? If I find Pankaja ma'am extraordinary, what's the difference between me, I'm an ordinary self, and Pankaja ma'am? She's extraordinary because she's put in a lot of effort. She has known herself. She has known that you and her. She has known her capacities. We have not known our capacities and our capabilities. So we are ordinary people. She's an extraordinary woman, right? So what is the difference between me and her? That little extra. I don't have to survive. If I'm surviving, I'm an ordinary person. If I thrive, if I want to be something beautiful, some better person, then I am thriving to be an extraordinary person. You got the point? So when you thrive, instead of sadhana வாழ்றதை விட நீங்க உங்களை பத்தி தெரிஞ்சுட்டு when you really strive to make yourself a better person, then you become an extraordinary person. People will look in awe at you. People will admire you. We all have superheroes in life. It can be either an uncle or father or tata or a hero or a politician. It can be anybody, a sports person. It can be anybody. We all look at them, wow, what a man, what a woman. Because they are extraordinary. What difference does it make from you to them? The same brain, the same,
physically, no,
have the same physique. They are thriving. We are just surviving. Because they are thriving to be better people, they are working hard. That is why they have become extraordinary people. So learn to thrive instead of survival. That is the thing I'm trying to tell you here. Okay? So when we thrive, we also become extraordinary people. Okay? So we have to thrive instead of surviving. We see over here, the unexamined life is not worth living for a human being, is what the great Socrates has your life. It's not worth living, being a human being. Once you're born as a human being, your life has to be examined. Your highlights, your capabilities, your strengths. If you do not examine your life, it is not worth living as a human being. No period scholar Socrates has told us. He would not have told this as an ordinary statement. Look at how much of life he must have examined himself to know the truth of the statement. He must have gone through his life totally, because he has found the worth of his examined life. That is why he's put out such a big statement. Yes. And also in the picture, we find two great people. One is Alexander the Great and his mentor Diogenes. When there was a war, and every night after the war, Alexander used to come and meet his people. In the war place, they used to have some small, they'll all be staying overnight over there, preparing for the next day's war. So when Alexander was on his way to meet Diogenes, he found that people who were coming in front of Alexander, they were so scared of him. They just went away from him. They didn't come near him. As he was coming to meet Diogenes, Alexander found that people look at me in so much fear. My own people. I only fight with people who are against me, but my own people are in fear with me. They just go away. They just worship me and move away. They don't even come near me. But as he was walking, he saw that people near Diogenes, who were sitting around Diogenes, they all prayed at Diogenes. They were all looking around him. They all, they were praying to him, worshiping him, and looking at him in awe and looking at him with so much respect. Though they had respect for Alexander, they had more fear. But they didn't have that kind of respect they had for Diogenes for Alexander. This was doing something to Alexander's mind. He was saying, what is this? What is this? Why are people shooing away from me? Why are they looking at Diogenes with so much respect, so much awe? This was doing something to him. So as he was walking towards Diogenes, Alexander was saying, I have to find out what this is. This is disturbing my mind. So when he went to Diogenes, he also worshipped Diogenes and asked him, Master, what is the reason that people are shooing away from me? And they're looking at you in awe. They're looking at you with so much respect. Though they are respecting me, they're scared of me. But though they are not scared of you, they're respecting you. What could be the reason? Diogenes just smiled at Alexander and told him, Alexander, you have won the war, or you have won the land, but I have won myself. Alexander to part that Diogenes is saying, Manna, நீ மண்ணை வென்றவன், நான் என்னை வென்றவன் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாராம் Diogenes. Though you fought so many battles, நீ அந்த land, மண்ணை, you have won so many people with you, you have won so many kingdoms. But me, I have won over myself. I am in control of myself. I am in control of my emotions. I am in control of totally what I am doing, what I can do. I can ignite myself to any extent, any levels. I know when to show my emotions. I have control over my emotions. I can improvise my intelligence all the time. So since I am in control, I have examined my life so beautifully. And since I am in control of myself, and I do not show my emotions to them, people look into me as a guru. They look into me as a Lord. They look into me as a mentor. That's the difference between you and me. Appin sonara to Alexander. What a great statement. Yes. Manne vendravanukku, enne vendravanukku, ethana vyathyasam par. So you have to look into yourself to get into being such great people like Diogenes. So it is so nice to know that such great people have looked into their life and changed their lives. We also hear from a lot of people saying that knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. We all want to be better people, right? We all want to be greater people, right? We all want to be extraordinary people. The first step is the beginning of all wisdom is knowing yourself. It might sound very simple, but anything you want to improvise, if you want to be a better person tomorrow, today you have to know where you stand. You have to know where you belong to. You have to know where you actually are. What are your capabilities? So when you start probing inside, you realize that everything you need is already inside you. Whatever you need, you already have it. You already have it inside you. In NLP, since I'm a master practitioner in NLP, there's a great saying that NLP la solvanga, you have all the resources within you. We look for resources outside us. We go for classes outside, we learn something outside. We don't realize that everything is within us. All you have to do is to believe. Believe that everything is inside you. You have all the capabilities in it. That is the only thing you have to do. I have to believe that everything is within me. I have everything I need, which is inside me. If you believe, it is yours for the taking. If you believe that you have all the resources within you, it is yours for the taking. Where are we lacking? And the belief we are lacking. Yes, so everything is you need is already inside you. All you have to do is believe, and it is yours for the taking. Periya scholars like Socrates and Periya scholars have told us these words. These words are so much into probing and thinking what we are actually doing. So what do we see here? What do we see here? We see that an elephant at work, or this big wooden logs. Each log would be weighing about 30 to 40 tons, and the elephant will be carrying about 100 tons in the with a trunk. A trunk which has no bones. It's only made of muscles. And the trunk an elephant can carry so much of load, so many tons of wood, so many tons of that tree trunks and all that. Avlo tons thooka mudinja oru elephant, when it's tied in the night with a small chain, which will not be even half a ton, the elephant thinks that if it's tied with a chain, it cannot move the chain. Because from the time it's a small baby elephant, it's trained in such a way that once it's tied, you cannot break free. And the elephant a leg which has bones. Okay, and it thinks that it cannot let itself free. Okay, just imagine if a trunk of an elephant with no bones and only muscles can carry it on a daily basis. It carries from here to there, there to here. It keeps on traveling from here to there. In spite of that, just a half ton or chain or it can break itself free, but its mind is conditioned in such a way that you cannot break yourself free with your leg tied. So it will not break free. And the nambikilada and the pahano, wherever it's tied, they sleep in the night. Because it will not go. Its mind is trained. Likewise, our minds are conditioned in such a way that, oh, pombla pilana sirika kodadu, pombla pilana alakodadu, ambla payana alakodadu, pombla pilada alano. We've been trained and conditioned by fear. We've been trained our minds conditioned from a lot of people, like from ages and ages and ages. We've been trained that way. Yes, we don't realize that men and women are equal. They have the same power. Yes, and when once we are trained that way, we don't make the slightest attempt to break free. It is possible for us to do much more, but we don't make the slightest attempt to break free because we've been trained like that. If an elephant can do so much with its trunk and it can't do with its leg, it's because it's been trained that way, right? So we should realize that this self-analysis will help us to realize that it is there in us, and we have not made the slightest attempt to break free from what we're already seen from our parents. Yes, so realize that we should also realize that we should be, if possible, if we train our minds to do so much, we can, whatever we do, if we are capable in one place, we are capable in another place also. Okay, if one person can do it, why can't another person also can do it? If Saudia ma'am is able to do so many things, somebody else can do this. If Uma ma'am is able to do so many things, everybody else can do this. If I am able to talk so much, maybe it comes through practice. But one day anybody can talk. It is a possibility. It's not something which is not possible. It's just how you condition your mind, how you get trained, how you practice, how much you've experienced. That is all. It's just a small thing. So realize that anything can happen if you break the small effort of doing self-analyzing yourself and breaking free from certain fears. Fine? Okay. The more questions you ask yourself, the more questions you ask yourself, that will be the answer for your life change. Why should I lead a normal? Again, it got cut, I think. Now it's okay? Is it okay now?
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah, fine. So, the more questions you ask yourself, the more better your life will be. Why should I lead a normal life? Like every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Why not I live an extraordinary one? Why can't I lead a life where somebody will talk after my demise? Even after I leave this world, people should talk about me. I have to leave an impact. I have to create something that people remember me for many ages, right? Don't we have to remember that? Or shall we just live normal lives? We have to live extraordinary lives, right? So what is stopping me from being a better person? Why should I not improvise myself? Why can't I be a better person? What is stopping me from being that person? I want to be a better person. How can I become what I want to? I want to be a friendly person. I want to be a great person. I want to be a great professor. I want to be a change maker. How can I become what I want to be? What are the areas I can improve? In the area, if I improve, I can be that type of person. See, we all have some heroes in our life. Oh, Chairanda and the lady mar irukano. Apro, which aspects of that lady do I don't have? So which aspects of mine should I change? So to improvise on certain aspects, who should I approach? For example, if I'm shy, who should I approach? What can I do to improvise myself from being shy? If I want to become a PhD, who should I approach? Can I get the right type of information? And finally, when will I realize my purpose of life? I should have a purpose of life. I should have something to fulfill. I should have a goal in my life, a life purpose. When will I realize my purpose of life? Only when you like what you do, you'll realize your purpose of life. Yes. So when I talk about this, you can always ask yourself, see, when will you have the time to ask yourself questions? When you have time to really introspect yourselves only, you will start asking your questions. Illati morning endichona idu panno, next, you'll get back to sleep. And again the next morning. You'll never probe into yourself. Take time off yourself and look into things about your own life. So how do you do the self-evaluation? That's why I've said you should take time off your normal schedule. Because if you do not take time off your normal schedule, it will all happen as daily. You'll never have time for yourself. We always think, where's the time, ma'am? From morning, I've been with my family, with my college, with my thing, professors, with my, with my university. It's so hectic. So take little time off. Take time off and get into a room all by yourself, or go to your terrace, your motamadi, or wherever you feel like. We always have that late night times for us, or that early mornings for us. Okay, so take time off, sit in a relaxed place without any distraction, and look into all your statistics from the time you have started your career. All the statistics. What are the exams you've written? How have you improved your career? What are the degrees you've achieved? All the statistics should be there in front of you, in written. It can be in any format. Get into all the statistics. Just keep your mind free and relaxed. Just relax your mind. Don't feel guilty of what you missed out on. Don't even think, don't get excited about what you're going to get in future. Just feel relaxed. Relax your mind. Keep thinking. Be truthful to yourself. Keep writing what you want to do. Keep thinking that where you have to improvise. Come out with what your weaknesses are. Come on, it's okay. Nobody's going to read that. You just have to just come out and be truthful to yourself and say that it's okay. I'm an angry person. It's okay. I'm a lazy person. It's okay. Just be truthful to yourself. I left out so many opportunities in my life. Be truthful and be positive. Stay positive that there will be opportunities. You can always create an opportunity. Opportunities, sometimes when you leave opportunities, you might not get the same opportunities, but you can create an opportunity, right? There are so many possibilities that you can create any opportunity. So stay positive that way. Okay. So feel very free. You're not going to show to anybody. So take your time off and get all the statistics, get into what you can do in future, and relax and write it down and see to it that all your strengths that you have are put into action. And realize that as time goes, whatever your weaknesses are, it can get into your strengths. Look into your weakness and make it your strength. Okay, see the opportunities which are lying in front of you. Unga university, what are the opportunities which are lying in front of you? Enna sale on the university? What can you do for the university? What can you do for the students? Look at the opportunities which are hanging around. It is a possibility. And you will be having some threats. There'll be some subordinates, or there'll be somebody on top of you who will not let you come up in life. See the threats which you're facing among you. In society, as women, we may be facing threats. As family, we may be facing threats from our relatives, in-laws, husbands. Yes, see the threats that you're facing. You may be having a threat that you may be having very young children. That may be a threat for you that you will not be able to go further for some time. See to it, look into it. Maybe after 2 years, I can do this. Till 2 years, I will improvise myself in certain aspects. After my children get older, I will get into more opportunities. Jot down panninga. As you do all this, you'll realize that everything, whichever religion you belong to, the Bible, the Upanishads, the Hinduism, the Buddha, everybody, all scriptures, they've said, what you think you become. You just have to think. Okay, so I can do it, I will do it, I must do it. That you will become that. Because the thoughts Your thoughts are the moolam solluvaanga. That is the base. Whatever you think here, it will become your words. Whatever your words are, it can be external or it can be your subconscious mind. Whatever your words are, that will become your actions. Whatever your actions are, that will become your self itself. Okay, so what the mind says, the body listens. So your mind should be changed. Ingada potu vekkano tidi oram ellame ingada. So what you think you become. I am going to be perfect. I am going to be different. I am going to be supernatural. I am going to be, no, I'm going to be something extraordinary. When you think, you naturally become. You start doing it in action. When your words become your deeds, when your words become your action becomes your self change. So when the mind says, the body listens, and when the body listens, you have control of your mind. Your body is in control of your mind. That is how the great people, Jesus, Bible, Jesus, the great people like Krishna, the great people like Buddha, the great people like Muhammad Ali, any great sports person, any great being, any great person is the person who has control over the body through the mind. Yes. So we all know some certain things. You need to have control over your senses, your 5 senses. In the 5 senses, kannu, vai, book, no, the senses. Even this time, I'm finding it so difficult to be out of sweets and ice cream, be out of non-vegetarian, be out of some oily stuff. It is difficult. நல்லதே பார்க்கணும், நல்லதே கேட்கணும், அதுல அதாவது கொஞ்சம் முடியுது. நல்லதே சாப்பிடணும்ன்ற போது கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமா தான் இருக்குது. We all go through such things. It happens. It's part of life, no? So we can't be perfect. We're trying to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. Even our gods are not perfect. If our gods were perfect, we will not have any Mahabharata or Ramayana. Yes, yes. Even our gods are not perfect. They also have some flaws. They're also trying to be perfect. They had tried to be perfect. That's why they were God. We are still trying. We have not finished trying. Yes. So it's so true that what you think you become. That's why I'm saying, that's why they say, think positive, say positive. We believe that in Hinduism, we believe that there are people who say dadastu, dadastu. It's a Sanskrit word. Dadastu means apriye ahatum. Dastu ahatum. Dana apriye. So dadastu, dadastu, apriye ahatum, apriye ahatum. So when we shout at anybody, nee onnukku like illa, adu enna seiyum apriye ahatum. Nee maadu megada like, nee enna sadhikka porana apriye ahatum. Adhaan solranga. That's why they say, don't shout at people. Don't shout at husband. Don't shout at wife. Don't shout at children. Adhaan solranga. Certain people வீட்டுல பாத்துருப்பீங்க, certain houses ஒண்ணுமே இல்லாம இருப்பாங்க. ஆனா என் பையன் அப்படியே, என் பையன் அப்படியே, என் பையன் அப்படி புகழ்ந்து பேசுவாங்க. Because the thought itself, it will make it happen. One day my son will be fine. One day my husband திருந்துவாரு. எடுத்துக்கலாம் நம்ம. Okay, so one day this will happen. One day we'll be fine. One day as family we'll be happy. One day as family we're going to be very happy. Up in at least thought le potte vainga. Varla eppadi pakku vitla eppadi namakku vaachirukku parunga. Idu ellarum da nenikkiradhu. Appo namm nenikrom, our spouses also will be thinking the same. Our children also will be thinking the same. Yes, they'll be thinking of the other house's parents, but we'll be complaining about our children. Yes, so everybody will think. So what we should do as family, as people in society, should think that we are going to be great people. As women, today we have women around here. As women, what do you think you become? As women, we are going to be the change maker in the family. Is it possible or not? Tell me, friends. It is possible. And when I started thinking like this, for example, just saying for example, I realized that once I went on a overseas tour to first trip was to Malaysia, Singapore. I said, what clean the city is. நம்ம ஏன் இப்படி இருக்கோம்? இவ்வளவு clean-ஆ இருக்கிறாங்க. Why are we like this? Then who do I blame? I cannot blame the government because there's not going to be any change, you all know. I cannot blame the society because there's such a big society. You can't blame everybody in society. Who is the society? You and me, then a society. So can I change some? Can I say change the you? It may not be possible. Can I change the me? Oh yes, it is possible. So let's start with the me. So I realized that I am not going to throw any trash on the roads. I started with, so whenever I travel by car or train or bus or whatever, when I'm eating biscuits or I'm eating kadala, toli, I do not litter the roads. I make it a point to bring all the banana peels, all the coconut, the groundnut peels, shells, the sweet paper wrappers, the chocolate paper wrappers, whatever you're eating. It will all come in a bag. It'll all come home to 2 bins, which is makum kupai, makkada kupai. I started doing this. My children were young at the time. So they started following me. Because I had guided them that, okay, you eat, you put your waste into one paper and it goes home, not in the roads. And when I started with myself, my children are watching. Yes, so he followed. And now my daughter's married, she's into her in-laws family. She does that in their family. And people watch her. Maruma panubodhu what same paper bag and it comes home to the Makada Kupai basket. Yes. So realize that what you think you become, you realize that, okay, I have to keep India clean is my priority, it's my duty too as a citizen of the society. So when you start with yourself, it just spreads. It just spreads. So when the mind decides, the body listens. When the body listens, the change starts happening. So this is just an example to keep you motivated to realize that change has to start in you, not you, in me. Each of you should say, in me, in me, in me. Okay. So what is the difference? No, when you have something to sell, you have to be different, right? Each one of us has a USP. That is your unique selling proposition or your unique selling product. We all have a thumbprints, right? No thumbprint is the same for any of us. That is why nama kaina to porrom, because any two persons cannot have the same thumbprint. So beautiful, like God's creation. Just imagine, since now we all see the net, so many types of birds, so many colors of birds, so many colors of animals, so many color of flowers. So beautiful. Flowers are colorful, fish is colorful, butterflies are colorful. They have different feathers, they have different, everything is so different. Fish sizes, shapes, fins, ellame different. But it's yours to paranga, this small thumbprint, idhula color maatha mudiyuma, blue, green, pink poda mudiyuma. It's a single light pink thane. At least birds pathina mookla vyathyasam, claws la vyathyasam, idanaala vyathyasam kaamikalam. But ulagathula ethana mankind irundhalum, this thumbprint inge vana color maarala. Black இருக்கலாம், white இருக்கலாம், white skin இருக்கலாம். But இங்க எல்லாருக்கும் ஒண்ணு தானே, சேம் கலர் தானே. உள்ளங்கை எல்லாருக்குமே பிங்க் தான் இருக்கு உலகத்துல. அந்த உள்ளங்கையில இந்த ஸ்ப்ரிங் பிரிண்ட் பாத்தீங்கன்னா இட்ஸ் சோ யூனிக். ஒருத்தருக்கு இருக்கிற பிரிண்ட் எதுவும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா இது எதுவுமே கலர் இல்ல. ஜஸ்ட் ஃபியூ லைன்ஸ், ஜஸ்ட் ஃபியூ ரவுண்ட் லைன்ஸ். இதுல எப்படி வித்தியாசம் காமிக்க முடியும்? Such beautiful, no, such beautiful creation தான் சொல்லணும். இதுல எப்படி வித்தியாசம் காமிப்பாங்க? கடவுள் படைச்சிருக்காரு. God has created us, each person so uniquely that even our thumbprints are not similar. You are different. You are நீ சாதிக்க பிறந்தவன் ஒவ்வொருத்தரா வித்தியாசமா படைச்சிட்டார். அவர் படைப்புல சூப்பரா படைச்சிட்டார். நாம தான் அப்படி இல்லை. So each thumbprint is so different. That is why every person in this world has done something different to place a mark in the society. Gandhijiன்னு சொன்னா உங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் என்ன ஞாபகம்? மகாத்மா காந்தி சொன்ன உடனே என்ன ஞாபகம் வரும்? என்ன ஞாபகம் வரும்?
Freedom of our country.
Freedom fight, father of a nation, freedom of a country. ஆனா அவரோட நிறைய freedom fighters இருந்தாரு. காந்திக்குன்னு ஒரு யூனிக் செல்லிங் ப்ரொபோசிஷன் என்னவா இருந்திருக்கும்? அந்த அஹிம்சா தானே. யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. That was his unique selling proposition. காந்திஜினா அஹிம்சா. அந்த அஹிம்சா ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு சாதாரண அஹிம்சா மூலமா he got freedom for a country itself. That was something unique about him. He thought differently. He worked differently. எல்லாரும் போர் weapons அப்படி வச்சு they had wars, they had world wars, but without any weapons, வெறும் சாதாரண ஒரு அஹிம்சா, simplicity அஹிம்சா வச்சு he got freedom for a whole country. That's Gandhiji's unique selling proposition. So unique. And who's this next person? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He was not this century, 19th century, he was the best and true yogi. True yogi, God himself has spoken to him. He is a true yogi. So how true could he have been that God has spoken to him itself? Just imagine. நம்ம இருக்கிற காலத்துல வாழ்ந்த ஒரு மனிதர். மதர் தெரசான்னு சொன்ன உடனே what we think? She's so beautiful, right? The beauty lies in her wrinkles, not in her makeup on her face. So beautiful she looks with that. No, Mother Teresa பார்த்த உடனே what we think of? That dedication, that simplicity. That is her unique selling proposition. And the simple dedicated இருந்து யாரோ ஒரு she went to ask for some donation. One man spat at her face, at her hands. துப்புனாரா. அப்போ she said, இது நான் வச்சுக்கிறேன், என்னுடைய ஆசிரமத்துல என்ன கொடுக்க போறீங்கன்ட்டு இன்னொரு கை விட்டாங்க. What dedication. Yes, that is her unique selling proposition. And when you think of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, யோசிச்சு பாருங்க, அவர் இறக்கும் போதெல்லாம் யாருக்கு தெரியும்? நம்ம நேர்ல கூட பார்த்தல அப்துல் கலாம் சார். பட் பீப்புள் ஆர் ஆஃப்டர் ஹிஸ் கிரிமேஷன். அந்த கிரிமேஷன்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா கோடி மக்கள் அவருக்கு மேல போனாங்க. ஏன் போனாங்க? ஏன்னா he was a very simple man. அவ்வளோ ஹார்ட் ஒர்க். Did he ever think that he'll sit in the topmost chair of India as the president? அது அவர் நோக்கம் இல்லை. அவர் வேலையில சின்சியரா இருந்தாரு. நாம தான் அவரை தூக்கி அந்த இடத்துல உட்கார வச்சிருக்கோம். அவருக்கு அரசியல் தெரியாது. He didn't want to become the president of India. That was not his nokam. His only thing was he was humble, he was dedicated to his work, he was a hard worker, only as a scientist. We took him to the highest seat of India. That is how it should be. So that was his hard work was his USP. And Kamaraj Raya, we all know, he had selfless love. Avariyum taandi. He was a living kingmaker. Got food to all the schools in Tamil Nadu. Such a great man he was. And M.F. Hussain, he was a great painter. He just bold and modern. Painting na oru vagayila traditional irundha painting. Just bold, modern, and vibrant colors na modern art pannunga oru periya aasan. Lata Mangeshkar ma'am, we know that her pitch was so high. She was the queen of Indian playback singing. 7 decades, 17 years, she was called the Nightingale of India. Ayram Padangal, 36 languages. What just with her hard work, she's done so much. Then we see Indra Nooyi ma'am, Indian woman first. She was the chief executive officer of PepsiCo, the first woman CEO. That much hard work she had. And of course, we all know A.R. Rahman with his different style. And the music here, வேற மாதிரி கொண்டு வந்த ஒரு மாபெரும் மனிதர். And of course, Kalpana Chawla ma'am, ஒரு Indian origin woman, first woman to get into space. இதெல்லாம் அவங்க யூனிக் செல்லிங் ப்ரொபோசிஷன், யூனிக்கா இருந்து சாதிச்சவங்க அப்படின்னு பார்க்கணும். And of course, Dhirubhai Ambani, from ஏழையா இருந்து the India's richest man அப்படின்னு பார்க்கும்போது, from school going girl, women rights, she fought for girls' rights in Pakistan, and she was the youngest Nobel Prize winner. Such women ka and alavukku, women child and alavukku girls' rights ka paadapattavanga, and of course PWAPFC she was the king, she was the queen of the Indian track up in Solana. No gold medal she's bought for Olympic medal she's bought for India. And Sachin or a dedication, he was a master blaster in Solana. His dedication at such a young age, though he was a school dropout in Solana. School dropout, he did so much for himself, his improvement, and got India so many laurels up in the Namsuru. So what do you think is your unique selling proposition? சாதாரண ஒரு பேஸ்ட் வைக்கணும்னா கூட பேஸ்ட்ல உப்பு இருக்கா, பேஸ்ட்ல எங்க உப்பு இருக்கணும், பேஸ்ட்ல எதுக்குங்க உப்பு இருக்கணும், அதெல்லாம் நம்ம யோசிக்கிறதே இல்லை. ஆனா பேஸ்ட்ல உப்பு போட்டு ஏதோ வித்துறாங்க. Because they want to be something different. They want to have something unique. So what is your unique selling proposition? உங்களோட uniqueness என்ன அப்படின்னு நம்ம பார்க்கணும். Yes. So finally, we all have some we are all in some situation now. இப்போ ஒரு situation இருக்கிறோம். This is the ladder we go to realize the purpose of our life. Okay. So கீழ் ladderல பாத்தீங்கன்னா, கீழ் pyramidல பாத்தீங்கன்னா, we are in certain situation. இப்போ ஏதோ ஒரு situation நம்ம இருக்கிறோம். நம்ம ஒரு better ஆகணும்னா we have to get, இங்க யோசிக்கிறோம், நம்ம better, ஒரு நல்ல ஆளா வரணும், நல்ல லேடியா பேர் வாங்கணும், நல்லபடியா இருக்கணும், நல்ல பேர் வாங்கணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு இங்க இருக்குது. இந்த தாட்ஸ் வந்து ஆக்ஷனா மாறும்போது நம்ம ஆக்ஷன்ஸ் மாறும். Okay, when your thoughts become your words, your action starts speaking. When your action starts speaking, your abilities will improve, your capabilities will improve, உங்களுடைய திறமைகள் வளரும். When your abilities and capabilities start improving, உங்களோட value, your value will increase. People will start valuing you more. When people start valuing you more, your identity in society la உங்களுக்கு ஒரு பேர் இருக்குல்ல, that will start increasing. Once society la உங்க பேர் வித்தியாசமா கேட்கும்போது, ஓ இன்னாரா, இப்படிப்பட்டவரா, அப்படி அவ்வளோ ஒரு டெடிகேட்டட் பர்சன், அவ்வளோ ஒரு சின்சியர் பர்சன், அவ்வளோ ஒரு ஹார்ட் ஒர்க்கிங் பர்சன் அப்படின்ட்டு சொசைட்டில அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஐடென்டிட்டி கொடுப்பாங்க. அப்படி ஒரு ஐடென்டிட்டி கொடுக்கும்போது யூ வில் ஃபைண்ட் த பர்பஸ் ஆஃப் யுவர் லைஃப். லைஃப்ல வாழ்ந்ததுக்கு ஏனோ தானு வாழாம ஏதோ வந்து நம்ம இந்த உலகத்துக்கு சாதிச்சிருக்கோம் அப்படின்ற ஒரு பர்பஸோட நீங்க இந்த லைஃபை லீட் பண்ணுவீங்க. So that is when you find your life's purpose. அதுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் என்ன செய்யணும், நீங்க தாட்ஸ் ஆக்ஷன்ல போடணும். When your action, you will start becoming more capabilities. When you start capabilities, your values will increase. When your values increase, your identity in society will increase. When your identities in society increase, your purpose of life will be reached. Okay, so fine. So as I told you, the quality of questions is your quality of life. Quality of life. So ask yourself, when was the last time I updated my resume? Yes, when was the last time I updated my resume? நேத்து இருந்த, போன வருஷம் இருந்த, okay, I'm just stating names, okay. போன வருஷம் இருந்த மீனா அதே மாதிரி இருக்கிறேனா? போன வருஷம் இருந்த கிருபா அதே மாதிரிதான் இருக்கிறேனா இந்த வருஷமும்? போன வருஷம் இருக்கிற கங்கா அதே மாதிரிதான் இருக்கிறேனா? போன வருஷம் இருக்கிற காவ்யா அதே மாதிரிதான் இருக்கிறேனா? ஏதாவது அப்டேட் பண்றீங்க நான் என் ரெஸ்யூமேல? போன வருஷம் இருந்த இந்துமதி அதே மாதிரிதான் இருக்கு இந்த வருஷமும்? போன வருஷம் இருக்கிற அபியா இந்த வருஷம் ஏதாவது மாறிருக்கேனா? போன வருஷம், போன 6 மாசத்துக்கு முன்னால இருந்த மணிமேகலை அப்படியேவா இருக்கிற? ஏதாவது இம்ப்ரூவைஸ் பண்றீக்கேனா அப்படின்னு நம்ம கேட்கணும். அப்படி கேட்கும் போது நமக்கு தெரியும் அதே மாதிரி இருக்கிறதா இல்லையான்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். Am I taking efforts to enhance myself, to improvise myself? If I am taking efforts to improvise myself, in what ways am I improvising myself? How am I improvising myself? If I am not improvising, how can I? Am I updated with the trends in my industry? என்னோட தொழில்ல என் trends, latest இந்த மாதிரி நான் improvise பண்ணிருக்கேனா? Am I updated myself? or அப்படியே இருக்கேனா? Am I indispensable in my company? Where I'm working now. If I'm moved out from my workplace, will I find a better job? Will I find a job itself? In the pandemic situation, will I find a job itself? Am I steady in my job or am I indispensable? If I'm indispensable, will I be able to earn the same amount? Will I be in demand somewhere else? Do I have the capabilities to take my business to the next level? If I'm a working woman, do I have the capabilities? If not, how should I improve? Please ask your questions because the quality of your questions will improvise the quality of your life. And finally, affirm yourself that you have to do it yourself. No one is going to tell us. There's no nallakalam. Every day is an auspicious day. Every time is a good time. We can start now immediately because whatever be our age, it's never too late. Never too late. நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா சாதித்தவங்க எல்லாருமே பாத்தீங்கன்னா வயசுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா they would have all been successful only after the age of 40, 50, 70. In fact, நிறைய பேர் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லலாம் வயசுக்கு பிறகு சாதிச்சவங்க. Yes, என்னுடைய எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லலாம், but since there's no time, I'm just telling you that affirm yourself that you have to do it yourself, and today is the time, now is the time. So I hope you will start introspecting yourselves and become a better person tomorrow, and so that you will realize that tomorrow is never going to come. It's already here. Ippa pandemic situation la we keep thinking that naal pala varsham irukku uir vaala appadha nenikirom ippadha aarambichirukom pannalam இந்த மாதிரி unpredictable times la nobody knows what will happen then. So don't wait for tomorrow, start today. So with this, I come to the end of my session and say that I request all of you to start introspecting yourself, find that exact you in you so that you can be a better person for the family, for the environment, and for the society itself. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. And I hand over the session to, I think, Sadia ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Charged they are. Really, the participants would have understood, and even we understood the purpose of life. Than for myself, for what else am I? We felt the human in us, the resources in us that can make that extra in the extraordinary. Madam, you really transform people. You do a really great work. I even feel really transformed, and I'm hunting for that extra in me from now on. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks. And let your work go on along.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Ma'am, Maheshwari ma'am, shall we move to the valedictory function?
Yeah, yes, definitely register will join now.
Okay.
He'll be joining.
Can we have some feedback if anybody has some questions?
Yeah, it's just you can have an interaction so that the students can interact with you.
Yes,
I think
yes.
they'll enjoy the session.
Yeah.
Students can come forward with your feedback. May I call out your names in random?
I hope Pangajam ma'am is here. She's left.
I was here too now.
Yeah, I saw her. Just wanted to hear from her. Uma ma'am, I hope I've done, some of what you expected.
It was fantastic. Students and scholars, I think they might have enjoyed the book. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
The objective is done, ma'am. Objective is done. That was great. Wonderful there.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. You're really serving the society through all these kind of speeches. I wasn't aware of madam.
Okay.
I heard about Madam Meena Raja from Uma ma'am. I feel that has made much changes in people. Really, really wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
You are doing it for the society.
Thank you, ma'am. Pankaj ma'am is here, so I'd love to hear from her.
Madam, Pankaj ma'am. Madam Meena Raja would like to hear from you remarks about her session. To hear from you, that shall be.
Didn't hear, I guess. Pankaj ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Students, for feedback from your side. Audio is not enabled.
She's unmuted only. I think audio is fine for her.
Yeah. So that is an announcement to all the participants. In a while, a link to the Google form where you can post your feedback shall be made available in the chat box. So please find time to give your feedback. Okay, in a while, you shall get the link. And after your feedback form is uploaded, a digital certificate shall be generated and shall be mailed to your email with which you have logged in to the meeting. Hope I am clear about that. And I would also like to remind you that the link shall be there for another 1 hour after the end of the webinar. Okay, so see that all of you are filling in the feedback form so that you make the digital participation certificate. Yes.
Check if Pankaj ma'am is audible.
Ma'am, Pankaja ma'am. We are waiting for the registrar to get connected.
You can ask the participants to put in chat box any takeaway message they got from here.
So dear participants, if at all you have found that the sessions were very effective, let us know that in a one-line comment in the chat box. Please, students, the impact that the sessions have made in you, the transformation that you have felt. Sri Lakshmi, Kripa, Indumadi, Ganga, Ishwari, you can make a one-line comment of what you have got from this webinar. Please, students.
Yeah, ma'am, I think you can share the link for feedback here.
Yeah. Okay.
Students and scholars kindly make use of for you to interact. Pankaja madam is also there, and we have also have got Meena Raja ma'am. Kindly utilize the opportunity.
So today's session, it was on prodding women academics for a poised family and career from the Center for Women Empowerment and Women's Studies of Manonmaniam Sundarnar University. Our respected registrar, Dr. K. Marudukuti, was to join us and to give the valedictory address, but due to some unavoidable administrative affairs, sir couldn't join us. So shall I take this opportunity to give a vote of thanks to the speakers and also the distinguished organizing committee of this webinar. My heartfelt thanks to the speakers. They really did make that a remarkable transformation in all the participants. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Senior Professor Dr. K. Pichumani, Dr. G. Pangajam, former Vice Chancellor of Gandhigram Rural Institution, Madam Meena Raja, and they all made it. The objective of the topic is done, and I really feel that the students would have been charged for the rest of their life, I hope. And thanks to all, my heartfelt thanks to all the speakers there. We should really appreciate the efforts of Professor Uma Maheshwari. Madam has taken pain and in making all arrangements to host the webinar from the university. The webinar really was the need of our ma'am. Thanks a lot for the effort. So we also had Professor Setu with us, head of the Department of Physical Education, and helped us work with this digital medium to conduct the webinar. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time and concern. I also thank Mr. Chokkalingam, Assistant Professor from CITE, and Mr. Risaki Raja, technician from CITE of MSU, in providing all the technical support to finish the fine nuances of this meeting. Thank you, sirs. And thank you all participants for your presence in this virtual medium and taking part by hearing to great eminent person who are really serving the society in the maximum extent they can. So hearing from them, my dear students, please stay empowered and charged throughout. Thank you all.
So to add with, I would like to, as a director of the Center for Women Empowerment and Women Studies, I would also place on my gratitude to all the heads of the departments for making their students join this webinar to make this a grand scenario. So once again, on behalf of MS University, we thank everyone else for having joined us. Saudia ma'am,
Thank you, ma'am.
thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
Thank